Okay, hey guys, we're back. I'm gonna be doing blue and purple shading. Sorry, I had to grab me something to drink. Okay, I just finished the creases, but I'm not gonna bake it. I'm gonna do his blue and purple shading. I have my paint here. I can't remember which is which. It's been a while since this is the purple, yeah. It's been a while since I painted. And that is not the right color purple, so give me just a second. I'll make that really dark, I guess. All right, let's mix up some eyelid purple for this. Get most of it out. There we go. Good enough. So grab some eyelid purple. And I'm going to clean out this brush super quick since it was in dark purple. Okay. No biggie. Okay. And what we're going to do with this is the nails and eyelids, and we're going to put a wee bit on their lips as a base, kind of. A little bit darker. There's some pigments in there. Hang on. So we want it like a wash consistency. And get you a smaller brush. This one I just used for creases, so you can tell it's pretty small. Clean it. And the reason I don't do like this before I get online or get on camera is because I want you guys to see it's a quick cleanup between, so you don't have to wait, so you know that it's not just something that's bam right there done. It'll help you understand the process. My hands are yucky. Understand the process. It is messy, and yeah. So first off, I've got the head, and it would be nice if I had a light, right? Okay, so we're gonna do just the bottom half of his eyelid, and get you a sponge. This is the one I used for creases, but it's not gonna hurt anything. And I usually put a couple of layers on there, and I don't get like super, doesn't need to be there. I don't get like super caught up on putting it on there perfectly, just as long as it's in the area, general area. Not all over the place, but definitely want it on that bottom half of the lid. And pull it off if it gets a little out of whack. And when you're satisfied with the first layer, we're going to do the lips. And I'm just going to do, like, make it two different sections. Do the bottom there, the bottom lip. So this side and that. And this just kind of gives it just a little bit of dimension. And as you can see, I'm not putting it on the entire bottom of the lip. It's just in two little spots. And of course, since this has a crease, we want to make sure we don't get the paint stuck in there. Moving on, let's do his toenails. Yeah, it's a boy kit. I had to stop and think. Which is this? It's Dominic. I'm calling it a boy since its name is a boy's name. Top half of the nail. Now this kit won't be as detailed as some of the other ones that I've been doing, but that's the purpose of this series, so you guys can practice making simpler babies, novice, I guess, novice style, so kind of like an intermediate. Maybe it won't be so daunting. Maybe you want to make a baby, if you're selling them, maybe you want to make them just a little bit on the cheaper side or budget friendlier side. I don't do budget babies very often. I mean, I'm doing this for a friend, so here's in the way. So normally I don't do budget babies because I don't know when to stop with details. I really want to get as detailed as possible, so I gotta slow my roll this time and just do the smaller minimalist style. So it's not going to look like something you bought from Target. It will definitely help you with the basics. If you need help going over that, getting a good foundation, and then maybe use it and then develop your own style on top. And this is just giving you an idea of how to mix paints and where to go. Okay. You see, it's just barely there, but we're going to put more layers on. I mean, I can tell the difference, so that's all that matters. Guys, getting ready for tax season. It's getting towards the end of January. Taxes are coming. Ick, right? Nobody likes taxes. Paint all over me. Haha. Put another layer on this. Goodness, I'm not getting much paint. There we go. I love his nails. They're like big enough I can see what's going on. And my hair wants to get down in my face. I should pull it back, but I don't have a ponytail holder right now. So as far as the details go, we're going to have a nice baby. He's going to have some pretty nails, and he will have the shading that we need. Not a whole lot of shading, extra shading, but enough you can tell there's layers to it, and it'll look nice. Okay. All right. Oh, didn't stick very good. Okay. Those are the red. Oh, the purple. That's the purple. And I think this needs to go. I'm going to do grab your vein blue. And if you don't have vein blue, ultramarine blue, and put just a little tiny bit of green or yellow to make it greener. And if you don't have eyelid purple, you're going to do a little bit more red than blue because it's a warm color. It's a warm red, so warm purple, my bad. It's a warm purple, so you want to put just a tiny bit more red into your blue than blue into the red. And I'm getting paint all over me. I'm so good at that. Get off. I just don't want it all over the kit. Crazy. I'm using the thinner to kind of wipe the paint off of my hands. There we go. I think I got it close enough, I think. Okay. So I will use this one for the purple, but it's not going to hurt anything. There's a... Okay. Vein blue. If you noticed, I use this particular one. It's kind of stained looking, so you can tell that I've used it on the blue and the purples, like the dark bluish purples. And I can't find my vein blue. Oh, it ran away. Well, you know what? That's okay. It ran off, so let's show you how to make it out of ultramarine blue. Okay, so we're going to do blue. Like I said, more blue, green. Get quite a bit of blue in there. Okay. Now we're going to use this for the veins too, but I'm not going to put the veins on this time. I'll do that with the next detail layer. And some yellow. Try not to get blue stuck in the yellow. Let's see. Just about there. There we go. That's close. Okay, so should look like that. It's like a deep blue with some green. It's like a deep blue with some green tint to it. Okay, so I think that's good enough. Okay, it's nice and thick enough, I think. You can see it trailing on the edge of the palette. And that's what we want. It's about wash consistency. And I want a brush that's a little wee smaller. Clean. Okay, so it is smaller, so this should be okay. And we're going to put it on the bottom of the feet. We're going to follow that curve and come up. And yeah, a little bit more. You see that? Now you can take a brush that's like a makeup brush, like this. Oops, wrong one. Like this, if you want, and pat it. Or you can just take a sponge, like what I normally do. So this one has some primer on it, apparently. It's okay. It's not going to hurt anything. As you can see, it's got a little bit of a color to it. Let me bring you up just a little bit. Trying to draw color up and on the palette, make it a little bit darker. Right up there in the arch. The center of the foot, down, and then up towards the arch. And if you need to, if it's down in those little creases, you can kind of wipe them out just a little. Okay. Now you can go back and this one had some primer on it. You can go back and add, if you don't think it's dark enough, you can go back and add more. There we go. And then we're going to do the palms. Trying to make this video quick. All right, there we go. So it's like across the top of the hand and then makes a triangle. And then this one's the same, except for you're not going to see a whole lot. So I'm going to put just a smidge on there. And again, if you're going a little crazy and you think it's going to get into those creases, wipe them out. I don't want it up there so much. Keep it tidy. Oh, it needs a little more. For some reason, that paint's not really wanting to stick in that little spot. We'll see. I'm going to use this one to kind of pat it down, maybe. Maybe it'll stay this time. There we go. That's better. So remember, it goes across and then down. And I have paint on my fingers. I'm sorry, guys. I'm a mess. I'm a mess. Oh, you guys knew that already. Okay. Make sure they're even. If you want to add more, add. That would be a good time. And make sure they're also even with the hands. Kind of keep your paint where it needs to be and not all over the place. Let me see here. There you go. You see that blue? Isn't that pretty? Okay, so we got the blue there. We're going to do a little tiny bit of blue inside his ear. Just a dab. Again, it's just a really quick detail. So that's why I go ahead and do it. Show you guys. So, okay. Just a very quick detail. So it's not that hard to do. Okay, so now we're going to do his little brow. There's an indentation there. Do you guys see it? And we're going to go kind of like this. And we're going to do the same thing. And that just kind of helps with depth. And then pat dry. You guys see it? I'll add just a little bit more on this side here. Super easy. And we're going to put some in the corners of his eyes. Right up next to that purple. I'm going to use, if it gets crazy, just wipe it. You can also use your little crease brush to kind of fan it out. But you want it to go up over the eyelid. You can also use a smaller brush if you want. That's what I do with that one. Okay. If this will help you out just a little bit more, that's good. So you really want it down in that little corner and then up across the eyelid. I don't want it in that eye crease there. Pull it out. Okay. I don't know if you guys can see it. I can't, but okay. So we're gonna do the little bridge of his nose like that. Pet, pet, pet. A little bit more color on there. You can experiment with some different brushes to see which one you like the best as far as, you know, blotting it off. Up underneath the nostril and come down the sides. And I also like to put, let's see if I stir this up a little bit. I also like to put a little bit of blue underneath the nostrils, just like right there. And that's a little extra. I probably shouldn't have showed you guys that, but it doesn't hurt anything. Can you see it? And now we want to put corners of the mouth down, and then a little tiny bit right there. And you're going to drag it out of his creases there. Right, you just want a little tiny bit. You don't want it to come all the way down to his chin. If you can see that. I don't like, oh, that's a lot, so I'll wipe it off. Alright, that is the blue shade and the purple shade, and now we're going to add a mottling layer super duper quick because we're going to use the same color we used for the blue shade. So grab your mottling sponge. Okay, so it is still wash. Oh, my brushes are falling apart. It's still wash consistency. So I'm gonna get that wet. Or maybe a little darker. It's a little darker than wash, which is good. Okay, so I'm gonna try that on the back of his head. Okay, looks good. Pounce this way and that. And you can do 2 layers if you want, although I'm not going to show that. I'm trying to keep these videos short for you guys. And I will bake as soon as I'm done with this mottling. And the last time we did washes, I put two layers of red on that wash, which really helped quite a bit. Oof. Is anybody going to the Kansas City Doll Show in September? It's the 31st of August and 1st of September, so Labor Day weekend. Okay. See, this video is almost half an hour long. I'm trying to hurry, guys. Manipulate those fingers. smoosh the vinyl. Okay. Now I'm not stamping the paper towel, I'm just kind of blotting it so I don't end up with a ton of paint on the doll. Oof. Okay. You're going to try to cover the whole surface area of this baby, but you know, some spots you're just not going to be able to get to, and that's okay. Just do the best you can. Okay. And with when you model, you just want to make sure that the limbs, you've got the same amount of paint, like consistency when you pounce. It's pretty much key is the consistency. Okay. Ooh, I might be able to do this very quickly. Keep it at half an hour. Okay. And again, you don't have to put 2 layers on this baby if you like it the way it is and you want to bake it, and then you can always add more later. So don't feel like you need to do extra. I know it's hard to tell on camera how much paint I'm putting on. So just remember, little is better than a lot, because you can always add to little. But you really can't take off a lot unless you want to work with color correction, and that takes forever sometimes. And if you don't get the right color to correct it, it just makes it worse. So, and then you end up with a strip, which is very much annoying. You want to try to avoid those. Okay, we're not going to beat the 30-minute, but we'll get close. Alright, I don't know if you guys can see, there's a hint of blue on the baby. I forgot to do the toes. Well, pooey on me, right? Okay. Oh, this kid is adorable. I love the Dominic kit. Notice I'm trying to get all the toes. I don't want a weird looking baby with blank spots obvious blank spots. No obvious blank spots, please. And I think it looks pretty good. I'm going to look over it when it's dry before I decide if I want to do another layer. And I'm still going to do the fresh newborn one. Having a little bit of trouble. I thought I washed it and it ended up with like hard water spots, and that's never happened before, so I've had to rewash it. We had some pretty nasty weather for a little bit and I lost my motivation, so hopefully it'll come back. Fighting off a little bit of depression, which I don't like, but sometimes it happens. I'm going to try to avoid that as much as possible. So it's like a catch-22. I get depressed, I don't want to paint, but I know if I paint, I'll feel better. So, yeah. There's just a very little hint of blue, which I like. But you also have to remember that it'll bake off lighter. Okay, I'm going to go ahead and hit him again. So anyway, that's the end of this video. Double check your baby. Make sure that it looks good before you bake it. And add a second layer if you need to. Go light. Bye.